Good morning. This is Monica Alford with Wildside Media, and I am super excited to be sitting with Devin Kennedy and Will Patton of the brand new Press Club Bar in Dupont Circle. Hi, guys.
Hey.
When do you guys officially open? When is the official open date? Or are you ready?
Yeah.
We don't have an official open date yet.
Okay. It's not official. Okay.
Unofficially.
Yeah.
Unofficially, hopefully in August.
Okay.
Unofficially.
Unofficially, hopefully.
Cool. All right. Well, what can you tell me? I didn't actually include this in my initial questions, but I'm curious. I've had as a journalist, National Press Club. That's kind of where my head goes with the Press Club title. Can you tell us a little bit about that name and how you came up with it?
Yeah. So it's the idea of Press Club is kind of like an homage to DC, and so we wanted to name the cocktail bar something that is evocative of DC without being like Monument Bar. And then Press Club, obviously, like my father was a journalist in the National Press Club, so like I heard that name when I was like a kid, and it kind of stuck. But also it works well as like a cocktail bar name because records are pressed, and we're gonna be a record bar. Like a lot of ingredients are pressed when you're like preparing a cocktail. Like brandy, like grapes, fruits are pressed. So those are all things that like kind of go into the idea of it.
It's cool. So press is a verb rather than being a member of the press.
Yeah,
exactly. I love that. That's fun.
We did talk about, are we going to do the thing where if you have like a press credential, you get like a special cocktail? We should probably actually talk about that before we talk about it on something. That way then we'll go live.
Yeah.
Cut.
Yeah.
I think it's still a good idea, but we'll figure out exactly what we're going to do. But yeah, obviously, it should be fun. But also, it's just like a cool name, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I think any nod to the media and journalism community in the city is really special, and we don't get a lot of that. So I think that would be really fun to offer something.
You
cool.
get a discount.
Well, thank you. Sounds great. I'd love that. So tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind the bar. I know that obviously being a record bar, music is a big theme. But can you tell me a little bit about how you guys got connected and how you sort of dreamed up this concept together?
Yeah, I think. Well, one, the bar. I think our vision for the bar is I think there's a gap. There's nothing like what we're trying to do in DC, or at least not yet. Even just playing vinyl and being record bars or anything in New York is blowing up. In other cities like Mexico City and things like that. But in DC, I think there's a space for it. And we'll talk about exactly why we wanted to do it. It's more of a hassle than to just playing a playlist. It would be much easier to do that. But there's a reason why we want to do that. But I guess for me and Will Will actually had the idea of the bar. And he kind of hit me up and was like, hey, I want to do this with you. I denied like the first 3 times. I was like, nah, I'm good.
4 years.
The time it was just off. He asked me right during COVID. I was like, I don't even know what life is right now.
No one did.
Yeah. But coming to this year, we kind of reconvened and it was just perfect timing. I was in New York at the time. I'm originally from DC. And it was a perfect time to come back home and kind of start this project. And Will's been kind of cemented here, and he wanted to kind of build something special. So it kind of resonated with me to start it up. And we've always wanted to work together. We've been like friends, frenemies, like rivals in the bar industry. We like to talk. Can we curse on here?
Yeah.
We like to talk shit to each other most of the time. But we also have like a really respect for each other's craft, and we're very intense about what we do. We're very competitive. So we can't be competitive with everyone else because sometimes they can get sensitive, but we can be like for perfect example, he went to France for this competition. He was representing the U.S. and I'll send her a text like, yo man, congratulations, do well. It's like, don't come home if you don't win. It's like, yo, represent. So we kind of always have that kind of like friendly banter.
That's good. That's healthy.
Yeah, we make each other better and stuff like that.
Yeah. Most of the time. Yeah.
I think I said everything.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. Like, encompassed everything, right?
Awesome.
What did you have? Do I have to follow up on that?
No, you do not. But I was going to. I was just going to say. So this was originally your brainchild. Sounds like you've been thinking about it for a long time, and you needed the right partner and, friendly
Yeah.
shit talker to bring into the fold to do it with you.
Yeah, I mean, so like I've always like wanted to open a bar, and I think that it's important. Like the original conception of like the bar that like we're gonna open now was not what we have now. Like it constantly is evolved. And I wanted to talk to you about this. I think that like we might have to move away from the record bar thing, because my mom sent me like a link to like a Financial Times article about how record bars are becoming cool.
Oh, so that means
It's done.
We passed.
If we hit like 9 months ago, we would have been good. But like we're
But in DC, we're a little bit of a late bloomer in
Well,
that way.
He's saying
so.
his mom said that it's done. The trend
Oh,
is-
because your mom knows it. Got it. Yeah, but I'm like, but if it's still not a trend in DC, I think that's, yeah. Sometimes we're yeah.
But no, so like one of the things that always attracted me to like a record bar, and like we go back and forth about if it's like a Japanese listening bar or a listening bar in general, is that like it's not really about like the listening part. Like it's still, we're a cocktail bar. We want to make sure that people are able to go and like feel a good vibe. But like when you are playing music through a record player, like you can't tune off. Like you put on a playlist and you can just like, you're doing whatever you want and you just hear music in the background. But like when you have like a record player, you're like very in tune to what that is playing and how that affects the ambiance and the environment around. And it was a couple years ago, I went to a dinner, like a really nice dinner in LA, and they had like a record player in there and they were playing like the music, and it was good, like good music. But I was like, all right, guys, how do you like decide? It was like a 2-star Michelin restaurant, and like I've worked in like Michelin restaurants before, so I'm like, yo, do you like do it on course? Like this is like this course, and we're gonna switch over the record. And they're like, no, we just do it entirely because we read the room, and like we want to like, if it's a little slow, then we're gonna like change it to pick it back up. If the kitchen's like a little fast, then maybe we'll go back a little slow. So it's being like constantly in touch with everything that around you, and music is such a way to like tie in an experience. Like you go to a bar, like, and there's another story. Like I worked at a cocktail bar many years ago. I was not in control of the music at that time, but like they played Neil Young's like Little Boy Blue at like 11 o'clock at night, and it was like, bro, this is sad.
Yeah.
Like this is really like, this is like your son hasn't talked to you in like 20 years at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon at a dive bar vibes, and like it's 11 o'clock on a Thursday.
Yeah.
So like creating something where we're gonna have to be so in tune with the experience that we're given.
Very intentional, it sounds like.
Yeah, intentionality, I think, is like the point of it.
Yeah.
And it's cool. And also, like, we love bartending. That was another thing that, like, Devin and I were really excited. I'm excited about working with him because both of us are like, cool, like someone's got to like floor manage, but like we both want to also be behind the stick. We both love like the craft of it. And so finding someone who's not like, cool, I want to like just go and like show my face for a moment and then get out of there, but someone who wants to like do the work to actually like do the thing that like has been my livelihood for my entire adult life, to like to still have that passion for, especially you're younger than I am, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So like especially like you're getting like 40s right around the corner for me, but still like I want to be behind the bar. I just want to like listen to my music when I do it, and not Neil Young. No shots at Neil Young.
Fair enough.
Actually, some shots at Neil Young.
Poor Neil Young.
Neil Young is not coming to our bar.
Neil Young's just out there catching strays.
Oh.
I'm sure he's doing all right for himself.
Yeah.
He's not on Spotify, but you know.
Why Dupont for your home base?
I mean, I think
Because it was
because it's available, but I think it fits what we are trying to do. It's kind of like an upcoming area. Well, I'm gonna say up and coming area. It's up and coming area for food and beverage.
Having a revitalization, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, DuPont's always been just a very well-known cornerstone of DC as far as the neighborhood. The original idea was the Wharf, which ended up didn't working out, and then I think in our favor that we're able to come to this space, and then the concept changes also, and I think we're pretty happy with the kind of location that we're in.
Cool.
And I think that there's a lot of benefits of it, just the natural foot traffic, just the community that's around there. We'll be playing off the DuPont Farmers Market as well. You can do some seasonal ingredients and things like that. Yeah, it's just Dupont. I think I've always been a big fan of Dupont. I worked in Georgetown when I was a kid, and used to just ride my bike through Dupont. It's a beautiful area. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, any follow up?
No,
You look like you're going to say
that
something. I
was,
was like, you
No,
just
Nick
think of-
Papadopoulos, man. Thank you. So there we go.
Cool.
No free ads, but thanks, Nick.
So, can you tell me a little bit about the other music themes other than just being a record bar, like the kind of the A side, B side, menu concept that you've come up with? I think that's really interesting, and back to intentionality.
Oh yeah. So we'll have some. Our core menu would be, what we would call the A side. So that's the core of the record. So this would be kind of our always on menu. It'll be a collaboration between me and Will and our kind of voices in that. And then, so that will be, changing maybe twice a year. What is that? Fall, winter, spring, summer. And then the B side would be kind of more of an experiential deep cuts, something that people are kind of the real kind of, lovers of Press Club. They're like, hey, we want to kind of dive deeper into this experience. And then we'll be having a kind of coursed tasting with like small bites to accompany it. And we'll pick a album. So we'll maybe do like Maxwell or Urban Hang Suite, and we'll create a experience that invokes what that album kind of feels like when you play it. And then we'll probably play it also. And it'll be maybe like 4 cocktails or so with some bites, and it'll kind of take you to the journey of that album, like as you're kind of listening to it and what that, what it feels for us when we play it. And hopefully it kind of resonates to the guests as well. So we'll switch that experience up probably every other month, picking a new record, different thing of influence, and using that as like a point of inspiration as well.
Okay, very cool. Yeah. How would you describe the ambiance or the vibe that you're trying to create?
Yeah.
Clearly not crying at a bar at 3 in the afternoon. That is not the vibe.
We might actually be open at 3 in the afternoon on Sundays, by the way. We'll put that out there.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
still minimal. One of our friends in Brooklyn is sourcing all the records, so we should probably let him know about the Neil Young takes.
Yeah.
You're like, please, though. So the vibe, we just
I actually
be
have
joking.
nothing against Neil Young.
On the record.
yeah.
Got it.
The vibe, I think it's going to be, we actually talk about this all the time. But I think one thing that we can agree on is certain genres that we will play. I think we won't say anything that we will only play this. Obviously, when we open, the guests will somewhat dictate, but obviously we'll have kind of a cornerstone of the overall vibe that we want to provide, and it's going to be kind of just good music, some funk, some disco, some jazz, some old school hip hop, some kind of new wave stuff, some lo-fi alternative. We have a lot of different music tastes, but we also have a shared kind of like middle, and he's putting me onto a lot of things. I'm putting him on some things, so it'll be kind of like a nice little blend. Yeah. My job is like, my secondary title is vibe curator, so I will be paying attention to like who's in the bar. Are we on dates? Do we have work dinners? Do we have groups? And kind of like kind of curating an experience for what's the time of the day, who's in the bar. Mm-hmm. And kind of making sure it fits, what is going on at that current moment. Yeah. So we'll be playing a little bit of everything. We probably won't play anything that's necessarily relatively new. If you probably can listen, if it's on like a current Spotify, like, top 40, you probably won't be playing it. Yeah. He wants to like play like, he just like, yeah, this is like,
give the people what they want, man. This kid is literally like, we're gonna have jazz albums.
Well, we will have jazz.
Why would you have jazz albums though?
Because there's like soul jazz that is like something that's a very like It's
There's,
not
like,
gonna be. It's not gonna be all piano jazz.
You're cool, right? You're walking into a bar at 10:30 on a Saturday, and it's playing Bitches Brew. You're like, all right, this is.
But that's a specific jazz though. Like we play like Terrence Martin. Like West Coast jazz. The new age jazz is playing now.
Yeah, I'm probably the wrong person to ask because when he started saying new wave and lo-fi alternative, my heart started going pitter patter. I'm basically like
new
an
wave
old
is me.
person.
By the
Okay.
way.
Well, also like
Well done. Yeah, but I mean, top 40 is probably not the vibe. I think I don't think there's a lot of places in DC that exist where you can go and the music is intentional. We don't even have a record bar. And I sent in my questions like, I was in Mexico City in October and I was like, this is like New York but cheaper and everyone's so nice. I was like, this is great. But they were like on every block, like in certain pockets. And I had a couple like music industry friends and journalists that are from DC that were like this place, and all of them are record bars. And I was like, again, it's sort of. I think our creative community is amazing, but we do sometimes get late to the game on these things. So I think you'll be surprised by how many people want to come in, and everybody wants new experiences too, and to feel like they're everyone wants to. I don't know, nobody uses Shazam or whatever it was anymore, but people are gonna like actually care about what you're playing, and then they're gonna feel like that hipster street cred because they can name that West Coast jazz singer. I mean, the Gen Zs love this. Like, it's going to be great.
Use the Shazam. They're like, what is that? And you're like, you're playing the floaters. Like, some old Parliament record that that's on, the hit single, but you don't know, the third
You don't
song.
think they're going to do that for Kanishiwa?
But then...
Yes, we'll play. And he's a big kind of like London, grime fan. So we'll play some London hip hop as well. That'd be like a little very niche
Will's Hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, Will's Hour will play like some Skepta and stuff.
Yeah. And then they can go have a nightcap and listen to Taylor Swift or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's some other bar. Like that's not what your experience is, but they can like both. It's just not, I think that's
Porque no dos.
Thank you. This is on record now. So
All right, I know this on.
I'm just gonna whenever we have a
record.
disagreement, I'm just gonna play on the video. Like
I'm here. I'm available to talk through these things anytime. No, I'm excited. So what's the capacity? Sounds like if you can
Small.
Yeah, if you can base it on who's sitting there, then it's probably very intimate.
Yeah, so it's downstairs. So very intimate. Downstairs you have I think we cap out at like 25.
Okay.
Maybe less than that actually.
Yeah.
And then outside we have like an additional space for about like 10 to 15.
Cool.
But like and to go back to like the vibe, like this is not like it's a basement. We're not gonna pack it out. That'd be a safety hazard. Right. So it's gonna be very like curated. We want to be sexy. I don't know how you say that in a that way. How do you say that in that?
it's gonna be very date friendly. I think
Date friendly.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be sexy. I think it's fine. I don't think anything worse.
All right, cool. So it's just like that's the kind of like very intimate but chill in a respectful sort of way. I mean, we have some reservations for like the B side. Like the idea is like the A side that's the first date, and then like the B side is like that's your 1 year anniversary. That's when you get to go and do like the curated 4-course cocktail tasting experience. So you have like both of those options, and then no Taylor Swift apparently.
No, I'm
pro Taylor Swift.
I didn't say that.
I just want you to know that when you at people.
No, I don't want this Swifties on me. I didn't say
Vino.
that. Yeah.
I have to be very careful. If I have even mentioned her name without like a smile on my face, I have friends who've been like, "What did you say?" And I'm like, "Okay." So I'm very careful.
I don't actually know enough about her like overall. That one line though, the one where it's like, "Hi, I'm the problem. It's me." It's a great line.
It is a great line. Yeah. My 7-year-old uses that
Oh,
line.
really?
Yeah. It's actually really funny. He brought that home from school last year, and I'm like, okay, I see you learning little pop culture references. Nice. So in terms
of, you get mad
of
at him when he does use it, because like part of me would be like, you're like, that's kind of funny that you did that, but like you're trying to get away with something right now.
all the time. Yeah, but I mean, he's also like it's basically like having a teenager. Like he's very sharp with his words, and so I'm like. It's my karma, clearly, but it's fun. I'm also very impressed sometimes. I'm like, ooh, good one. And then I'm like, but you're still in trouble, Yeah. But I'm still impressed and I write them down for later. So for, in terms of like other ways that folks can, be engaged or involved in the process, like on any given night, so you're saying you kind of gauge what the guest's vibe might be, but if people ask you if they can hear something, or if are you going to have records displayed? Like, what is like is there any kind of immersive experience element or participatory, or are you going to kind of be like, hey, like it's like no request to a DJ, you know what I mean? Like, just like let us kind of.
I think
Actually, I want to see if we have the same answer here.
well, we talked about
I feel like a
something about
therapist.
for
This is
like
great.
a
Right?
having like a little
We're charging you by the hour.
having like a little box, like a request a record box, just so we
cute,
can get
yeah.
some input on what people would like to play there.
Yep.
Not necessarily, just to kind of get some data, but I think we will have, at least to start off, probably we'll be playing it. I think it will be something that for people that come as a repeat customers, that we see that they're in there often, and they're like, obviously like, okay, cool, now you're like really invested in the bar. We want you to be a part of the experience as well. I feel like if we are to do this well, it will be a point that people will be bringing in records like as donations, and obviously that would be really fun to like, oh cool, you brought this thing in, like let's play it. But I think we'll have some sort of loyalty type of thing that you can. You come in a couple times, you get like a little coin, and you can request this. Request a record. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously we just can't. If we let we'll just be a jukebox at that point,
Right, of
and
course.
then we might as well just be a jukebox and just play, whatever. It can get real weird at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine so.
Will wants to play some Creed sometimes.
Yeah.
I actually know about as much Creed as I know Taylor Swift, to be honest, but it's a nice bit that we got going.
Yeah, this was a funny bit. He just like, yeah, man, at 9 o'clock, I'm just going to throw a Creed out. Come on. I was like, please don't.
Should have been dead on a Sunday.
But I think having some sort of loyalty thing to request a record, I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Definitely request a record just to see what people are interested in, or donations are always welcome. But yeah, I think just talk. It's small enough that we'll be able to touch every table and actually ask them real life feedback on like, hey, how you liking the music? Anything you wish that we played? They're like, hey, do you love more like Anita Baker or something? Like, oh,
Yeah.
cool. Like actually, we're on the hunt for this Anita Baker record too. So the next time they're in, like, hey, we got that Anita Baker record.
Nice.
Throw it on. So that is the benefit of us being small, that we're able to have that that contact and those touch points with the guests and be able
And
to
geek
talk
out
to
about music.
Exactly,
like that,
right?
which is
and that's why people are there, and then also geek out on cocktails. So there'll be
Yep,
another
of
thing to
course.
geek out. We love to geek out on cocktails. We also can geek out on music, so it's like double geek out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So are records on display so people kind of know what's on? No, it's just kind of.
Well, we'll have
like a thing. It won't be like going into a record store. Like the turntable is kind of in the back, like behind the bar.
Yeah.
And I will say that like probably if you are watching this, I can't wait to have you come in. But like for the first couple of months, we're gonna definitely steer clear of like recommendations, because like we want to make sure that like we're providing the cocktails and the experience for everyone. And then if it's like a Saturday night and you start taking recommendations, then it can go off the rails pretty quickly, I'd imagine. But like at the same time, if it's Wednesday and you're coming in all the time, then yeah, like I like that you assume that someone's like Anita Baker. That's what they're gonna recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they didn't want to hear Angel, like it's songs.
I think you doubt that there are these people hungry for this.
He
this
does.
jazz and like looking.
I mean, no, I'm excited to be proven
Or
wrong.
soul, yeah.
It'll be the first time for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like one of the greatest songstresses of our generation. Anyway,
Yeah.
but
Our next business meeting is just going to be you making me listen to Anita Baker for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
pretty much.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
there
yeah.
you go.
And so far, the no list is T Swift ? Creed and Neil Young.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Potentially.
Wow, I just lost track of what I was going to say. So it sounds like if I'm a regular and I come on Wednesdays, maybe I can eventually hear New Wave if I come
You can,
in.
you'll hear New Wave, like you'll hear New Order like immediately.
Amazing, perfect. That's sold. Yeah,
Yeah.
but also sold on Anita Baker.
Yeah.
But wonderful. So is there anything that anyone can do to engage with you guys before you officially open in August? Will you be doing any, pre?
Yeah. I guess we.
Do we? I don't know. Let's like the one that for July 1st. Let's like
solidify it. We may have something in July in
1st.
DC. July 1st in DC.
Maybe.
We might have like we just have to iron out the details. But we'll probably have like a pop up at another very popular concert bar.
Cool.
And we'll probably do like a sneak peek of our menu. We do, if anyone's watching from New York, we do have a couple of pop-ups in New York in June and July, and then we have a little pop-up in New Orleans also in July.
Yeah.
So we're staying busy while we're waiting, and
maybe Nashville.
And maybe Nashville as well.
Wow.
So we're just doing like little.
Not busy at all.
Yeah, we're doing little pop-ups to it's our way to R&D. We're testing out some cocktails, testing out the concept, and then just kind of getting the word out there, and just also just having some fun.
Yeah.
But July 1st, we'll follow us on our Instagram,
Which
Press
is
Club Cocktail Bar.
Cool.
The actual National Press Club took Press Club DC.
Ah, rude.
I know,
Yeah.
but our website is pressclubdc.com.
Nice.
Yeah,
So tune in for more info,
exactly.
updates, and more information about our opening.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to close with one music nerd question. What is one album that you will fight to have played in the first few months? Because you just think it embodies everything.
Prince, Dirty Minds.
Nice. Okay. I feel like you have 50 already lined up.
I don't know if I'm gonna have to fight for this album, but
Yeah, I don't think there's really not many albums we're gonna have to fight for.
Okay, ones you feel strongly about that you're excited about. So
probably like literally any NERD album, probably like maybe In Search Of, or the Black Keys Brothers album,
okay, good choice.
or
I'm learning a lot about your personalities. We'll do it like this, and you're like, I really gotta.
one is really just
One of us thinks before he acts.
yeah, you're just like Prince Dirty Minds.
I thought we were gonna say ceremony or something. I was like,
no.
oh, okay, all right, we're going a different direction.
I have my music range is like
Yeah, no, I understand.
it's like this.
Makes it harder to just pick one.
But probably actually also like maybe like Clips, Lord willing. Like
Yeah,
like
that's
a
a solid.
Saturday. Like I think that would just be
That's-
really.
Yes.
I think
Are
that's
you
one
a
album-
Hell Have No Fury or a Lord Willing guy?
Oh, actually, Hell Have No Fury. I think.
Trill is pretty fucked.
Yeah, I think. But we will definitely be playing Clips in the bar.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing we agree on. We will play.
Honestly, like the
Pusha
big
T.
like three Virginia, like D'Angelo, Missy, and Clips, like boom.
Yeah.
As a Virginian, that's really the only thing we have to hang our hat on.
Yeah.
And Allen Iverson.
Yeah. D'Angelo. Yeah. Black Messiah.
Black Messiah's a great fucking album.
Will be on repeat probably multiple days. Yeah. You can just play that for like it's like an hour and a half.
We could just do that front to
It's
back.
like 20 songs.
You're
in
actually
there.
gonna if you come in and we're playing Black Messiah, you know we're weeded.
That means we cannot be bothered to look at the record. We're so busy.
Yeah.
And we need an album that can just cover for like an hour and a half.
Yeah. Okay.
D'Angelo, Black Messiah.
Got it. That's a
Yeah.
go-to. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you both so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.